Wow. It's Sunday. Again.
For fuck's sake.
7 days later. I'm still locked in my cave. Page is still not done. What am I going to do? Hi, guys.
How's it going, everyone?
I've surrounded myself with my art, as you can see. Well, it's really Odie's art, but, you know, I just figured I should be among the people, my people.
You make it look pretty, though. I know.
I'm trying. Well, with
Ginger
us
makes everything look pretty.
That's right. It's a great color. It's a color of warmth. You know what I mean? It's a color that the color you'd like to eat, right? Things that are red, you tend to want to eat. You know, meat, apples. I don't know.
Peaches.
I tell you what, I don't trust blue food. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
You know who's blue? Ginsburg.
Ouch. Opening salvo from Ink Spots from the top rope. Holy shit. Yeah, that's rough. Hey, we got Liam in the chat. We also have Bogdan. Hello, buddy. So last week we covered light sources. This week, I thought pretty long and hard about what would be an effective thing to cover. And kind of before we get too much further, we all use a certain set of words and terminology, right? In the different disciplines we use as artists, right? If you're a penciler, you have a bunch of tools you use and techniques you use. And there's words for those things, right? As inkers, same thing. As colorists, we do too. And because most of our work is done absolutely 100% digitally, we have to deal with not only software, but hardware and all of the techniques that come within that, right?
Sorry, I was just thinking the difference between software and hardware is 3 days later.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. Derails me. You know what I mean? Just puts the brain just like a doorstop into my brain. Anyway.
It's a good old-fashioned man joke, that one.
So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to go around the panel and throw out some things and define what they are, and then we'll put the link to it in the description and move forward from there. Hold on one second. There we go. So we'll put the link to this document in the description and share it out, and people can refer to it. So if it ends up being useful, hopefully it is. We'll go from there. So I've basically what I've done is I've just created a simple document, right? That simple document is terms broken into 3 categories: theoretical, technical, and jargon. So an example for theoretical would be ambient light, right? What is ambient light? Technical would be like Marquee Tool. And jargon would be like, you might say, like color Sep. What is that? So we'll go one term at a time, but let me define these really quick. So Ink Spots, what is ambient light?
Just for everyone in the chat, he's keeping it simple because I'm here. It's not for you.
Right. What is ambient light?
Well, I guess ambient light would also be a lot of different things kind of in that term. Because you got, I think for ambient light, you're going to need ambient occlusion.
Well, separate term, but like let's define specifically what is the word ambient light mean?
Ambient light is, let's see. So I usually use the ambient light as what I would call like a fill light. So like the sky. And ambient light to me is the light that is like the global light of a scene. So what is the main light color? It's a weak light, so it would be like a skylight on an overcast day. And so those light rays are small, and they bounce around, and they bounce up into areas that would usually be completely black and devoid of light.
So we can basically say ambient light is a indirect light source that kind of generally fills the space with even amounts of light wherever it can reach.
Yeah, it could be. I guess they refer to it as a lot of things: a fill light, bounce light. You know, all those things can kind of be put into that kind of category there.
Typically, ambient lights do not create volumetric shadows or cast shadows.
Yeah,
it's not strong enough to create any kind of matrix of shadowing on objects. It generally lights them kind of weakly.
Yeah, when you see a shadow that has color in it, that's ambient light bouncing into that shadow. So if you see a shadow that tints blue or tints, yellow or tints red, that's usually ambient light bouncing up into there. So it gives the shadow a lot of its color. So
and there was me thinking ambient light just meant date night.
It also tends to add color to areas of shadow. Okay. Let's do a word wrap on that shit.
yeah.
Where's word wrap? I think that's merge. Text wrap. Boom, like that. All right, so ambient light. So Marquee Tool. Marquee Tool, do you know what the Marquee Tool is, Cap? You're not a Photoshop guy. So the Marquee Tool, the Marquee Tool is the rectangular selection tool in Photoshop. Also, well, I could say used to make angled selections at 90 degrees. So that's all it is.
Okay, so in Clip Studio they call that rectangle.
Rectangle, not rectangle selection or rectangle selector.
Well, I have all my selection areas, selection tools, and it's just rectangle.
Okay. All right. So the jargon term that I selected was color sep. What's a color seps? Ink spots.
You talking about color separations?
Yeah.
Oh, that's something done at the printers that I don't worry about.
All right. So a color sep. This is a send to production term. This is after you're done coloring. It's something you should understand, because once you're done rendering your page, it is going to be broken up into 4 pieces of film, right? And those pieces of film are going to be used to etch a plate, and that plate piece of metal is going to be a reverse of your image, right? In four colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, right? Those 4 pieces of film, color seps or separations, are going to be used to overlay. The paper is going to go across one plate, get stamped, another plate gets stamped, another plate gets stamped, another plate gets stamped, and all 4 of those stamped images of those 4 colors are going to be used to make your finished colored piece. So color seps are color separations. So it's good to understand that once your page is complete, you flattened it, sent it, or made it CMYK, sent it to your printer. That's what they're going to do to it. They're going to create color separations.
Unless it's being printed digitally, right?
Well, digital printing, digital presses, you don't need to make film for those. Those are, like a color Docutech or something like that. It's printed out all together with a magnetic process with dry ink. The problem with that, though, is dry ink is much less resilient than wet ink. So when you send stuff to an offset press, it doesn't fade as much, right? It depends on the acid of the paper. But if it's acid-free paper of a decent quality, offset printing tends to hold up for a longer period of time, whereas digital printing is a dry ink process, which the dry ink doesn't soak into the paper surface; it sits on top, and it's fused and melted together into an image. So if you ever bend that paper at all, it'll crack. You can crack digital print. So. Because it's hardened, melted dry ink rather than mixed wet ink. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So color separations are the film made from the CMYK panels that are used to make printing plates. Like that. All right. Do you guys have a term you want to put on the board?
Well, you might as well put ambient occlusion there.
Okay.
Since we got the its counterpart there.
Ambient occlusion. Let's see. Tony Galvin says, "Is there not the same reason why printers cannot reach some colors too?" That is a reason, or that is a function of color gamut, right? Gamut meaning the range of colors that when you combine the four colors cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, there are only a certain range of tones that could be created with converting those into dots and overlaying them. So certain colors, when you combine those four colors together, you just can't make those colors. It's not possible. So that's in offset printing. You just can't reach certain colors. Now, whenever you do inkjet or digital press, you have sometimes a range of toners. Like you'll have a light cyan, a light magenta, a light yellow, a photo black, a matte black, a light black. Those types of things, those give you a wider range, but still you can't achieve fluorescence or anything that looks illuminated or anything like that. Those have to be done with actual color spot channels. You would have to separate out and make a plate specifically to lay down a bright ink color that was pre-mixed. So that's the only way to achieve things that are out of gamut, which you don't ever want to do that, because every plate you add to your printing process increases your print cost exponentially. So sometimes. So,
yep.
Sorry. So ambient occlusion.
Complete absence of light.
Complete absence of light. So define that further.
It's the deepest cracks. So like if you have a fold in the cloth or there's an object touching the floor, it's that little crack where the object touches the floor. That's the spot where light cannot get into that crack. The light can't bounce and get up under there. So it's complete absence of light. So, yep. Basically, it's the darkest part of your image.
So would I be correct in saying an ambient occlusion maybe is a secluded place, right, where the ambient light can't reach?
Yeah, and no light can get in there. It's like a black hole. Right.
Okay. All right. Cap, do you have a term you want to add to the list?
Hey, no, look, I don't know the terms, mate. I'm here to learn as much as everybody else in the chat is. Is
there something you might have heard, a term you might have heard that you want to know the definition to that we can put on the list?
Off the top of my head, no. I'd have to go and find a book that I keep all my notes in, but God knows what that is at the moment. I think I've hidden that somewhere.
Okay. Let's see. We'll stay with the theoretical. I'm going to say direct light. Ooh. What is direct light? Pink spots.
It's a directional light. Light only travels in a straight line unless it hits something and is bent. And so a directional light would be like it can be anything. The main light coming through a window into the house could be the sun in the sky shining light at an angle or straight down, depending on the time of day. So it's basically light that is shining in one direction.
Okay. A light shining in a single direction. Oh. Yeah. So a direct light source would be, sunlight coming through a window, a spotlight, right?
Yep.
A lamp that's has a relative amount of brightness that is able to cast shadows, right? It's cast and it hits an object so directly that on the opposite side of it, there will be a shadow equal to the amount of light that's being projected onto the object. Nice. Okay. Let's see.
And what does direct light usually do? It gives you a cast shadow.
This type of light generally results in a cast shadow.
Yep.
Boom. All right. So in the theoretical, maybe we'll go with primary colors. App, what are the primary colors?
Miss.
Okay, primary colors. Red,
yellow, blue.
Yellow. Or your red, yellow, blue.
They're the colors that cannot be mixed by any combination of any other colors.
Colors that cannot be created or mixed with any other color. They're the source of all color.
Yeah, that is the truth. Like when I paint traditionally, I only use primary colors and I mix all my other colors from three primary colors, and that's what will give you color harmony in your paintings.
That is a good point. All right. How about secondary colors?
Colors that come from a mix of two of the primary colors.
Miss. Miss.
Yes, Cap. You had to use the restroom? Go ahead. You're excused. Go ahead and use the restroom if you need to.
No. There's red and blue, which is purple. There's red and yellow, which is orange. And then there's yellow and blue, which is green. Yeah!
Green, orange, purple. Right? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So colors created by mixing two of the primaries
colors
together. I have a whole logic line I'm going through with this. All right. Next, this is one that people fuck up all the time and use incorrectly.
I thought you were going to say
complementary
brownish to dirty orange
colors. Complementary colors.
Colors that are directly across from each other on the color wheel.
Yep.
Right. So many people say that color, that's such a good compliment to that color. And it's like blue and yellow. Like, no, those aren't compliments.
No.
Okay,
Those
colors.
are cheeky little pats on the head with a well done boy. Try again later.
So we can go red. Let's do this. Red to green. Purple to yellow,
orange to blue,
orange to blue are the complementary colors. Won't go into like split triads and crazy shit like that.
analogous.
Analogous. Well, analogous. That's anal colors. I mean, analogous colors.
Analogous colors.
Right.
Those are the browns and the pale greens.
How do you spell analogous? Analogous.
I'm not
right.
sure.
Yep. Colors.
Colors that group of colors that are next to each other on the color wheel.
Group
so you would have red, orange, and orange.
Similar in hue on the color wheel. Analogous just means similar.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Let's insert some more here. We got some a lot of theoretical stuff. There we go. All right. Another color theory term.
Triadic.
You just Googled that.
No, I didn't.
All right, you want to go triadic colors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just split the color triangle into 3 in equal parts, and you get your triadic colors.
And then definition of that is a really shitty choice for coloring something.
Yeah.
The quickest way to make your shit look muddy and disjointed.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard if you try that.
So triadic colors, Cap. Let's define that.
I just did a minute ago.
Say it again.
They're spaced equally around the triangle, around the fucking circle.
Colors that are
the fucking
spaced equally
around the color wheel. I told you I lose words all the time, Spotty. It's just what happens. I have to deal with on a daily basis. I go into the kitchen and ask why I'm in the shop.
So, like, if you were to go to the primary colors and go past the secondary colors into the third row and take a triangle of those colors, that's triadic colors. So,
yeah, and you're gonna get mud. You're gonna be, unless you're really good.
It's really difficult to use a color scheme like that, but that is a, we also have split complements too. And
yeah, that's a better choice. I think go with the split complement.
I was going to do that one next, but fuck you two.
Split complement. What is that? Define that, Ink Spots.
So instead of using the direct complement color, so if you have red and green, you're going to go with the color on either side of green. So you would have like red, yellow, green, and blue, green instead of red and green. So you find the complement to your color and you go to the color on each side of the color wheel from it. So you won't use green, but you use the colors on either side of it. And so that basically gives you like a mostly green scene, but then your red would be like the almost like the thing that's the point of interest that's popping out of the image. So it's hard to I'm not sure how.
It's hard to define without a picture, really.
Yeah.
Instead of using a direct complement, you use colors on either side of the complementary color.
Yes.
With the primary complement. So you
find it pretty well there, to be fair.
you get like you have blue, then you have orange, which is the complement of the other two primaries on the opposite side of the color wheel. You pick two colors opposite on either side of this complementary color with that blue. So split complement. There's a certain reason you use that to create vibration, right? When you use complementary colors, you use them for their vibration. Like there's a frequency when light is next to other light, it creates a frequency that causes your eyes to you create this buzz. Like if you were to look at, this is something everyone can do. Get a piece of blue paper and put it up to your eyes and then look at it. Open your eyes nice and wide and stare at it for a minute. Close your eyes, you will see orange. It'll invert itself in your eyes. When you close your eyes, the inside of your eyelids will turn orange. That's one of those things, like when you look at those contrasted pictures of like an inversion of Jesus's face, and you're like, what is that? Well, stare at it. Now close your eyes. And there's Jesus in your eyes. It's one of those things. It just shows the opposite. All right. So let's see. Do we have any technical terms we want to throw in there?
So yeah, we can do color flats.
Color flats.
Fuck you, Odie.
So we want to say like the process of splitting the line art into
Selections.
flat,
Yeah.
selectable
Yep.
zones
Yep.
of basic colors.
Yep.
Critical to the coloring process. You can skip it if you like at your own fucking peril.
Yep. Trust me,
yeah.
I used to skip them all the time, and once you start coloring comics, you learn your lesson.
Yeah.
You hear that, Dad? You hear that, Dad? Critical.
What's
It
up,
is.
Stim? The link is in the backroom chat if you want to come in, Sim. Okay. So here's another one. This is for theory. Local color. This is an important one. We use this one quite a lot. Local color is something that is a starting point for everyone to understand. Get your head around local color. What is local color? Cap, can you answer that one?
It's for local people.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Yeah. I'd squeeze the trigger with the meat of your finger because you're shooting wide a little bit. You know, pull straight back.
You don't want me to squeeze the trigger with meat.
Local color, ink spots.
I would say it's the base color of an object in white light. If you were just in a white room, you had a yellow ball in the middle of that room with a white light shining on that, you're going to get yellow. It's the base color of an object. That's how I was always told. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you were to take this and imagine in your mind an apple, not some exotic fucking, strange breed from Wisconsin. I'm talking a Washington apple. What color is an apple? You're taught when you're a little kid. Apples are red. Well, obviously we know that there's green ones and yellow ones and whatever, pink ones, whatever.
Unless
apples are red.
Purple light, and then an apple isn't red.
Right.
That blows your mind.
There's another color, fire engine red.
Yes.
Right. Bananas are yellow when they're ripe, until they're overripe. Then they're brown. When they're not ripe, they're green. But bananas, yellow. Oranges are their name of their color, orange. So local color is, like Inkspot says, the expected natural color of an object without any colored light bouncing on it, right? So and typically, like when you flat, you don't have to, but it's a good idea to flat with desaturated local colors, because it helps in once you get it all flatted with a bunch of local colors, you can kind of start to see where things need to go. It's easier to plan the page out and make rendering decisions if you're not, trying to figure out what color something should be. If you're all flatted with local colors from the palette you use, which is what Cap and I do. I give him a palette to work from, and he flats with those colors. And so when I come in, I can like go, okay, this is the hair, this is the shirt that the guy wears, and just start rendering from there. So
Samir flats with eye burning primary colors.
does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made a little palette that little color chips. I mean, when I was in design school, in graphic design school, that's one of the things we would do is we'd we would take a photograph, and you look at the photograph, and you find all the most important base colors, and you make a band of all those colors, and the thickness of each color is how much that color is in the scene. It helps you get an idea of, you can take stock of, what temperature that room is, what, not physical temperature, but the color temperature. It helps you make harmonies and things like that, understanding color theory and shit.
And shit.
Hey,
Always
we got
sad.
we got a Simon Zimbote.
Well, hello.
Hello.
What's up, man?
I thought you started this shit at 2.
It never changes. It's always a 10:30 a.m. PST.
10:30. Oh, okay. PST. Sounds
Let's see.
STD.
Local color, base color of an object with white light. Example, let's say banana is yellow. Let's go like that. All right. Sim. So basically this episode is learning to talk like a colorist. We're going to list some terms.
Colorist terminology in comics. Yep, got it. I did my little research before jumping in.
Ooh. So do you have a term to throw in one of the 3 categories? Theoretical, technical, or jargon?
I don't think so. I think you pretty much covered all of them. Inkspot and you are way better colors than I am.
Yeah, but you're an artist. Don't give me that shit. Sorry, go ahead. Inkspot.
I was gonna say there's a couple things in when you're a digital colorist, you're gonna need to know what layers are.
Layers.
And the difference between RGB and CYMK, you've touched that already, right?
We covered it in color Seps a little bit, but yeah, we should
the difference
of
like
further.
in one all colors become white and the other all color become black.
Yes, I'll have you throw that one in next. Layers.
Yep.
What are layers? Ink spots.
Exactly what it sounds like. So they are an additional. How I never tried to define a layer. It's basically
like acetate. Is that how you call it in English too? Acetate that we used to use.
Acetate?
Acetate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how they used to do it. They used to pile plastic sheets or whatever on top of each other and paint on top of them. But when Photoshop came out, they came out with layers, which is almost like putting a clear plastic plate on something and then painting on top of that. Then you can put another one on top and paint on top of that.
But
so.
they interact between each other. That's the opposite. Yeah.
So I can say the digital version of
a layout
layering film with color to make a composite image.
And then you would have a layer mode, which is the way those layers blend together.
That seems like an overly complicated description of a layer to me. It's just another sheet of paper that you can lay on top, like using a layout pad.
Except
it's called a safety net.
It's called, you always use them.
Layer mode. The ways layers can be set to blend with each other. Example: multiply makes all white invisible. Screen makes all black invisible. So there you go. More?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. What else is like a general colorist term?
Jargon is the hardest one. The only one I could think of was color sep, and that's like because you speak about it casually, like, hey.
There's one that I kept forgetting that people kept bringing up and got me better in colors. Environmental light.
Environmental light. Let's see. We did ambient light, which is essentially environmental light.
Yeah, global light, environmental light. It's all kind of in the same.
So let's put a little footnote here. Ambient light, global light,
environmental
light.
Yeah, there's multiple words for the same goddamn thing.
When you're coloring, you should always paint the background first, because the background colors in combination with the light are going to affect the lighting on your character.
It's
So,
one of the reasons why you should never start putting colors on white. You should always have a light gray in the background, like that. You're not blinded by the white on the colors, because if you start doing it and you put a background on it, it's not gonna match. There's always something weird if you don't do it.
yeah, because you think about it, you have a man in real life, no one's really going to be standing in a complete white square.
Exactly.
So a man there's a blue sky, you're standing on green grass, and there's yellow light coming down.
Right.
So the blue light is affecting the ambient. It's the ambient fill light on the person. Then the yellow light comes down, hits the person. Then it hits the grass, mixes with the grass color, and bounces back up on that person for some underlight or some bounce light. So, yeah, the environment, global lighting is very important. And
Do you follow Mark Brunette on?
Yeah.
That it's exactly what he has a video exactly of that whole thing about light coming from the sun and bouncing and getting weaker and splitting and bouncing and splitting and getting weaker. And like he drew all these colored lines going all over the place, and it's like,
yeah.
Did you ever watch the video of Simon Bisley, Shock of Green?
No.
Dude, that I watched that a while back, right? And I was in doing color theory and shit like that in university, and I shocked everybody with that fucking video because he shocked the fuck out of me. And I was arguing with a fucking teacher, and he's like, "No, you can't do that." And I'm like, "Oh yeah? Well, check this out.
Here's Bisley.
Dude." He goes with the pencil, then he puts everything fucking black. Then starts putting the highlights of colors and this and that, and I'm like, holy goddamn shit. And I showed that to my teacher, and my teacher is like, what? How? What? And it changed his way of seeing coloring too, painting and digital painting, and
yeah.
There's so many
it's
approaches.
Called a Shock of Green. It's totally fucking worth it. You're watching fucking Bisley spend an entire fucking weekend painting the Joker piece that he did. That's a giant fucking head of Joker. It's totally fucking worth watching.
Well, find the link and share it in the chat.
That we done.
Can check it out.
Let me share the link.
Nice. Let's see.
And sub
how
to Biz
about
TV.
Sim needs to start a swear jar for the show. Language. Fair enough. Yeah.
God
I don't
damn
know.
it.
This we speak like, normal people in here. I don't
So
censor.
maybe under jargon, maybe proof.
Oh, proof.
Because I send proofs for approval. So
Okay, so what is a proof?
a proof is basically, well, to me anyway, it's my first draft that I send to the person that hired me, and they'll use that proof and get back to me with any changes. Is that
okay.
yeah, that how you kind of use that term?
Yeah. A draft that is sent to an editor or the person who has hired you to color, so they can approve your work.
And after you prove that, my money's made. I'm not making no more changes without more money.
Yeah. Let's see. So under technical, let's go with brush. What is a brush? Brush is a tool used to render or work and be textured, soft.
Are you just saying words right now?
Yeah.
Or
Dude,
smooth.
it's fur on the stick. Let's leave it like that.
Well, we're talking in a digital sense.
It depends what you're using. Because if you're using Photoshop, you're talking about a freaking little image that you're using to spread some paint. If you're talking about Clip Studio,
We are talking digital though.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
saying digital. And if you're talking Clip Studio, the brushes, you don't need to use as much of those picture effects in your
Yeah.
brush to spread that paint. It's more like a traditional type of medium.
Yeah,
Mhm.
with a brush and digital, it's basically a stamp
Mm-hmm.
that's being put down multiple times to have the appearance of a natural brush. I
Yeah.
guess something like
Like
that.
you can take the picture of a tree, use that as a brush to do like texture and grass if you wanted to.
Yeah, when you're first starting out. Nope.
Yeah, it's just an example. Meaning you can draw with a picture. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you could draw a tree, use that as
Or
a
you
brush.
can, well, I mean, you can do it professionally too. I mean, I've seen like top, like guys that are just praised for their coloring that just do a nice stamp of a rock or something. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
But it depends on what you do usually. Like
Yeah.
I don't like using like stamps or pictures and stuff like that. Like I don't like that
yeah,
stuff.
it's a. I
But
mean,
in
it's
in
frowned
concept
upon
art,
by other
in
colors.
concept art and
Yeah,
matte painting, it's a common trait.
yeah,
Well, in concept art, most of the time, you've got a day to put together a mock-up of something. So yeah, using any shortcut you can is,
Yeah.
kind of the
Technic-
way you do things.
Technically,
But
you want to
fine
get
art,
you want to get the idea on paper as fast as possible to get
Yeah.
the idea out. And you're not gonna go around and go, this is a piece of art I did.
right. So
That's the
like
difference.
Clip Studio has the ability to bring in a 3D model and convert it to a high contrast line art. You increase the threshold, and it
Yeah.
like washes away the gradients, and it turns it into like
Then
you
you
know
can drag and drop some shading and cross hatching on them. I don't like that stuff.
yeah. There's ways that people increase their speed.
Mhm.
And then there's a difference between drawing everything in a scene and using models for things. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, coloring, there really aren't too many shortcuts. You kind of have to do the whole thing.
No, there is. There's some people using it. They use pictures and then just do color picking over it.
True. But like I
So
said,
a lot of people will take a picture of they'll draw a woman, take a picture of a said woman, take that skin, put it in the back, and make it fit with liquify or this or that or
yeah,
yeah. With that, I mean, I would say one thing: using pictures, it may be fast, but you're not learning anything, and you're not gaining any proficiency or skill at your craft. So
you're
it's better
creating-
if you just you can use textures, but I would say if you use a texture, do it at low res, and then don't just leave a texture in there. Paint over the top of it. Add something
like
to
use it as
that
a reference.
texture. Yeah,
Don't use it as your back color because what it does, it does the same thing as 3D modeling. That's one of the things that I keep bringing to the attention is like it does the uncanny valley. It's like the same thing as in like, dude, if your entire environment is drawn and then you put a fucking poster, right, in the background that it's just copy paste, it just ruins it. It just creates an uncanny valley. It pops you out of that, disbelief.
it sticks out like a sore thumb. You can tell immediately what has been copied and pasted in.
Yep.
So you're not fooling anybody. You're really not.
Nope.
Only person you're fooling is yourself if you think people can't see it. So yeah.
So we got that tangent out of the way. Let's
Tangent ink spots, tangents for the penciling show. We're gonna do that later.
Oh yeah,
Once
but
we finish.
there's a difference. It's like, one thing I'd like to touch before we leave the entire subject is like when you use textures, it's nothing wrong using texture. Like some people will use like a texture of paper or a little grain, but it's usually not a fucking picture that's going to be used as the main detailing, you could say. Like, so
yeah, there's a difference between a texture and then you just using a photo. Like we saw some examples of a colorist that pasted in a background, and it was supposed to be in like medieval China, and there was a minivan in the picture he used in the back. So
or the gas
things like
station.
that. Yeah,
Remember
gas station. There's a gas station. So
welcome
yeah.
to feudal Japan, and we have a gas station in the middle of the fucking town. Sorry, we need to fill our horses.
You know what I call that? I call that a perfect place for a word bubble.
Yeah.
Dialogue balloon right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Dude, I think those gas station models were made for horse breeding back then. We just transferred it to cars
breeding?
after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You ever seen an Amish country? If you ever see a guy with a hand up in a horse's ass,
Yeah, I did.
He's a mechanic.
Yep.
Amish mechanic.
That's a
good
biological
one.
mechanic.
That's a good one.
He goes realigning
Not my joke,
some
by the way.
stuff inside.
I stole that joke.
All right. So
Okay, so I added texture to the technical part. A
Yeah.
pattern or detail used as a background element to blend color into.
yes.
Okay.
Are you gonna make that word thing available after? That's kind of cool.
Yes, I am. I'm going to post it in the description, and I'm going to share the link to this Google Doc out on Twitter.
That's fucking cool.
Nice. Beautiful.
So, okay, so jargon. We need more jargon. More jargon.
Yeah, I
There-
had some stuff, but my brain like stopped working. So
How about the rim light? Did you cover that one?
Rim light.
Sim, only you would bring up rim light.
well, let's start that with 3-point lighting.
Yeah,
'cause or multiple light sources. So
Multi-light source.
yeah.
Yeah, because you usually have like the regular light source that you're gonna like the 3-point one you're gonna lay in, and the rim light is the one that we use in cinema to cheat, which we call the highlight. The highlight in comics usually it's like you use that one to break like the contour or somebody when it's the background is too dark or something. It's kind of like separate colors.
Like this shot right here where they're turned away and they're looking over their shoulder and their shoulder has a rim light around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like an extra powerful light with all the fucking mirrors and reflecting that you're always wondering why the fuck are they using that when you're looking at cinema. That's why.
All right.
Thank God that's what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Canadian mooning again.
No. I'm not talking about a rim job. I talked about rim light.
Talking about edging? Is that what you're edging? Ew. Okay.
No, we're not talking about your porn name, Captain Fuckhead.
Captain Fuckhead is my porn name, you idiot.
Yeah.
No, it's rim job. I've seen you.
Oh. What? Wait, you've seen him? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Cap, your secret is out.
Dude, come on. The mask is not hiding it. I've seen that over.
All right, multi-light source. Let's get back on track. Multi-light source. So what are we going to define that
So
as?
we can do examples inside there. So we can say
Sure.
when more than one light source is hitting an object. So you have rim light, fill light, directional light are all part of a multi-light setup. This is stuff you all figure out before you start coloring the page. Like how many light sources I'm going to have in this panel. Am I going to have the sun, the sky, and the bounce light? Is there just a spotlight shining in this room?
A good
we got a
example.
direct light source.
The
We've got-
good example was your room last time. Remember? Not the last show. The show before you were showing that bar scene, the strip bar scene.
Yeah.
And you were
yeah.
explaining all the the light coming through the door.
Yeah,
all
so we
different
did
temperatures.
the strip club scene in Cecil's book, surprise, surprise. And there's multiple spotlights in one scene, and they're all different colored spotlights. You have blue, purple, red, and so you have all these different lights that are changing the way things look in the scene. And so and that's when you're a colorist. I mean, one light source is fine if for the most basic stuff, but you're going to want to put in, if you want to be a great colorist, you need to put in multiple light sources. You want to put in all the flash, a rim light, like you're on a dark background and you want your character to pop out, or if your character is a similar color to the background, a rim light's a great option. And basically, a rim light is a super bright light that's shining from behind the character that pops out a silhouette.
Right. Defines objects. It usually washes out the lines,
Yes.
the rendering. You won't have any crosshatches in a rim light. It'll be usually you'll have you might be next to an ambient occlusion actually, where you'll have a really strong rim light. You know what
And
I
if
mean?
your artist didn't draw it in and there's a bunch of hatching, don't try to put it in over his line work.
Right.
It's not supposed to be there. You do have to follow the artist line.
Yeah. And you will find, depending on your artist, depending on their skill level, that you will come across every now and then inconsistent light sources where you'll have multiple characters in a scene in close proximity, and the shadow that their chin is casting goes this way on one and that way on another.
Yeah.
You kind of just got to work your way through that. You know what I mean? You got to say to yourself, well, maybe there's a light right above this guy, and there's another thing. There's a window over here, so it's causing the cast shadow to go a different direction. Just don't get hung up on it. But
yeah, I had something similar to that happen in a cash grab page, and what I did, I found a solution there in a warehouse. So I'm like, that shadow don't make sense. Oh, I'll put in a skylight shining down, and that'll make sense for that light source. So you can be creative, you know.
Yeah, you kind of got to play a little bit of jazz sometimes with that shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay. So multi-light source when more than one light source is hitting an object, direct light source, rim lighting, general lighting.
Can we add to this? It's kind of like, remember that there's a little thing in movies where it's like you're not trying to reproduce exactly real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, keep that in mind. There's no one way of doing it. There's what makes it pop. It's the extra stuff that you add to it.
Right.
Like in
right.
movies,
make it look
overly
cool.
saturated or something. Sorry.
That's the Todd McFarlane way. Make it look cool.
Make it look cool over making it correct sometimes.
Yes.
Yes. Cool over correct. No, really, the whole objective with this episode is to put some terms out there that we use regularly that will raise your credibility and teach you something, so that when you go to get a coloring job and maybe you're talking to somebody who knows what they're talking about, and you use like, oh, I like to shade stuff like this or shade it like that, or you start saying, well, I'm really a big fan of complex multi-light source scenes. I like to use ambient light. I like to use rim lighting here and there. You know, ambient occlusions, or you need a certain amount of those. If you speak that way, someone's gonna go, this fucking guy knows what he's talking about. I want him to color my book, or her. It's 2020. It's current year. Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah. And then we end up with a lot of people that sound like they know what they're talking about. Then when they start to apply it,
of you putting labels on colorists. I want pronouns in your description from now on. I'm a person of colorist. I'm not going to take it anymore.
I'm a person of colorist. Okay.
Dude, he's a ginger. He's not.
I'm a POC-ist.
He's a ginger colorist.
I may not have a soul, but my life matters, okay?
No soul matters. Got it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yes.
Well, this is a good place to work from. We can add to this document if you have ideas or things that you want to add to it.
But there's the thing that we wanted to talk about, like the RGB and CYMK.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what do you want to list that under? It's not really jargon. It's kind of
really jargon.
Technical stuff, yeah.
And it's just something that you need to know at the basic to understand why there's a difference between CYMK and RGB and why it looks so different in printing, and it's quite a simple freaking basic that you need to learn.
Yeah, it's light versus ink.
Yeah, exactly. Because in RGB, you're talking about digital. It's only made to be on screen, TV, not printed. So it was created to work in those special effects. So all color turn white, meaning transparent. Black isn't. And when you switch it to CYMK, it's all colors give black. So now you understand why if you color with RGB, you switch it to you go print it, it comes dark as hell. Like it comes muddy and stuff like that. So it's something that's important to know as the basic of the functionality of both, color types. So you understand it more. And it's one of the reasons why I think that it was important that Scottman covered it before, saying that you need to freaking always work it from your the file that you initially did the RGB in. Otherwise, you're only going to be losing quality every goddamn time you're going to convert it.
So maybe make a note in this description to always work with CMYK proof in your program. I think that you can check your colors.
I think that they don't have that on Clip though.
Do they not have that on?
I don't think they do.
You can. I don't know how to do it, but you can get CMYK through Clip, but you can't work in CMYK. Its default setting is to work in RGB.
Yeah. Well, I always work in RGB, but in Photoshop you can set up it's just Control Y.
Mm-hmm. Oh no!
And then you can see the CMYK version of what you're working on to make sure the colors are going to switch over. Because when you're using blending modes, you're not always getting colors that are. What you're seeing is not going to print, so you have to switch over to CMYK to make sure it's going to be acceptable when it switches over. So you always want to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Just to add to what Sim was saying there, you can describe CMYK as a subtractive combination
Yep.
and RGB as additive.
Yep.
Yeah, that's now you're getting into the definition of light and opaque and shit like that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good that's out there. You've said it out there. Okay, so I've said light versus ink.
Thanks, miss.
RGB, red, green, blue values when combined equal white. CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black are 4 ink colors combined to create printed images. Also, when combined with enough value, equal process black. Right?
Beauty.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else we want to add to the list? Because this document, like I said, it's going to be out there. We can add to it if you come up with something, you could take it a little aside in another episode and say, hey, bring up the colorist term saying I got a term I want to add to it. Boom, throw it out there.
Cool.
So
that works.
Okay. All right. Well, we're at 56 minutes. We can go ahead and talk about some projects we're working on. Let's do that. Anything we want to share? Any work we're working on? Ink spots?
Well, I am working on Cash Grab, of course. So if you want to back that, we're over 200 and something thousand now, or ceaseless. I am working also. I'm going to screen share real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to start working on finishing up my children's book here pretty soon. It's already written and drawing. I just got to tighten the drawings up and color it. So this book is going to be called, this is just a page in progress, An Adventurer's Guide to Questing. It's going to be an all ages children's book. And it's just going to be about a little boy that's going on a quest to get a dragon's treasure. And he brings his little dog along with him. So fun stuff that I'm going to be working on. I'm also going to be working on colors for Charlie's London here pretty soon. I think she'll start getting art in pretty soon for her book. So if you want to go sign up for that mailing list.
Who's drawing her book? I know Donald did a cover and Vinny did a cover. Who's doing the interior?
I'm not sure who the artist is. I've seen his art though, and it's pretty amazing. So
the name is let's put it this way, not out there at the moment. But he came, I believe. No, he didn't came. He was suggested.
He didn't come.
No, he didn't come. He was suggested, I believe, by our friend Chubb, aka Carl.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Well, if he's recommended by Chubb, you know he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen his artwork. It's pretty amazing. So, yep.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's great. Cap, what have you got going on?
Well, I'm working with Colin Mark again on Not Daredevil. Visit email list and all that sort of stuff there on the Indiegogos. But I'm going to, rather than promote that, I want to say congratulations to Mark because he broke 5K on his burn stream for the Adventures of Kim Il-sung and Best Korea.
Ooh.
5K US. US. I have to point that out because it's only 3,946 glorious British pounds, I think. But 5K US, nonetheless, is an achievement for his shitty little communist book. I did suggest to him his goal should be 3,500 glorious British pounds, which of course he did smash. So congratulations, comrade. Well done.
Well done. That's great. I'm eagerly awaiting his next Art Nouveau project that he's going to do as his campaign.
It's good. Not Daredevil's good.
See, what's funny about Commie Mark's approach is he doesn't just put a campaign up with art. His campaign is an art form.
Yes, that's how he sells it. I mean, it's
art.
It's really a brilliant way to do it, actually. And
yeah,
to be fair to him on that, like he had no choice with the Adventures of Kim Il-sung Best Korea because there was no art.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was all stock photos that were halftone screened, right?
Yeah. So you had to. He had no choice if he wanted to sell that book to Comicsgate readers, but to put the campaign together. And I know for a fact the number of campaigns he went through was just insane. Like he went and read almost every campaign that was live at the time.
Yeah.
To find out how to build his. Impressive.
You know, that's something to be said right there. Kami Mark, you know, don't sleep on Kami Mark. He works his ass off. He puts out content all the time. He has a week over week show he does all the time. He goes on other people's streams all the time. He's grown his channel from literally fucking nothing to where it is today, which is pretty impressive. And, you know, he's a great guest. So have him on your shows. He's a good guest to have. He's one of those guys where like he'll be quiet for 20 minutes and be like, and then
he just drops gold on you.
Yeah, comedy gold will come out of fucking nowhere. It's because of this in it, and then like he'll say something fucking hilarious, and I'll be like, it just totally just fucking slays me every time. And I don't know what it's just that matter of fact way he puts things. I love it. It's hilarious.
He's a smart cookie, that's for sure.
He's way smarter than he lets on. He lets on as like this, I'm some kind of hipper stoner, mate, that, you know, I just want everything to be communist. No, he's pretty, I can sense intelligence in that man. That's far beyond what he puts forward. So
I mean, he is still a hippie stoner. Let's get that very clear. That still exists.
I see through the act. I can see through it.
He's a smart cookie, is Mark.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that's probably why we get on, because I get to learn stuff.
I don't like to be around dumb people. They're insufferable to me. Like when people are, like not someone who just
sorry, miss.
No, but you know what I'm saying? There are people that are certain they know a bunch of things. They're really fucking ignorant. Those people annoy the shit out of me. I can't be around them. But people who genuinely want to learn stuff, who just don't know stuff already, that's a different thing. Nothing more irritating than people that think they know a fuck ton of things that are really just...
Oh, yeah.
God, it's fucking annoying. Anyway, so Sim, I see you've got a screen shared here. What you got? Sure. Are we ready to share?
No, you can share it. That's not what I wanted to show, but let's show it.
Okay.
So this is what I'm finishing up right now.
That looks like the ace right there.
No, actually, it's Sunsworn.
No, but I'm saying that robot kind of looks like Edwin the Ace's head.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's that Sunsworn piece. Oh,
hey.
Sick.
Fuck it, why not?
I had to design the bad guy and the robot. So hey.
Nice.
So this is like I was trying to figure out how to do a glow effect in black and white. So I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You know, one thing that's always struck me about this piece, because you've been noodling on this thing for like what, a year or so?
Not
months?
a year, but a few months.
Something like that.
I did this. I did like that character. Then after that, I put it on hold because I had to design the rest.
That shield right there, that shield block, I can feel the clang of that fucking shield block, because the way you've got his arm torqued,
just a bit more, yeah.
Hear the fucking impact. Like he's blocking the fuck out of him.
I wanted it to show that he's actually like he's not just like holding it there. No, he's actually deviating the freaking laser on the other bot there.
Right.
Do you have any characters wearing Biden shirts in there?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
But this is one of the main things I wanted to show, though.
Oh my god, that's badass. Dude.
Oh, dude.
That's what I wanted to show.
Oh my god.
You got the Natverse crew right there. They're all done. And dude, he nailed
comics, man.
He nailed Elrica.
Gorgeous.
Listen, everyone, if you don't back the ever-living fuck out of Starfetched when it launches, I don't know what you're doing with your life. This guy is amazing. He's done so much character art, fan art, and just a distillation of all the characters in Comicsgate, like capturing their essence in the most simplest form. This guy is 6 a.m. comics, dude. Cheers, brother.
So
dude,
that
you're a fucking master.
That guy's getting and not the Merc drawing sent to him very goddamn soon.
Nice. Just like, dude, the way he captures the basic essence of every character in Comicsgate is,
dude. You know what's the worst thing? Is that when I asked him to do this, right? I'm like, he's like, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He goes, dude, my style is gonna make them look cartoony. Like, I'm like, dude, just think Metal Slug. That's all. He goes, huh? That's all I want to see. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to see you drawing my style. I want them to see my characters as if they were in fucking Metal Slug video game. Yeah. That's why I want you to do this. This is going on my wall. I don't give a fuck. I'm putting that logo and that's going on my fucking wall.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the Metal Slug, me playing the arcade game, and I'm like, dude, I'd love to see one of those little side scroll blaster with not the Merc with those characters in.
Dude, that would be so awesome.
Right?
Seriously. Yeah. No, it's brilliant, dude. Like I look at his work all the time and I just am. I love it. It makes me feel like a kid when I look at it. Like it brings me back to like my teens and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And I like the fact that he got the characters, like not just like the design. He got the attitude of the characters. Like he got Rose that looks like, hey, I'm gonna fuck your day. She's the queen of pirates, right? And you have Luani there that's like a badass but a bit seductive, she's playing with her hair type of thing. And you have Elrica in the back that looks like she's about to kill the Hulk.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the character in the bottom is it Zed?
Yeah,
Zed.
that character is awesome.
Where he's sitting there like he's fucking welding something. He's he's dipping his little robot thing into some peanut butter and jelly. And he's got a bread in the other one, and he's just fucking smoking. You know. And
the group, he's the Kelsey Shannon character.
But,
yeah.
Look, I'll show you something. Hold on, give me a sec.
That looks like the same thing. I'm just kidding. I know.
Oh God, I'm looking at the new Snake Eyes comic by Liefeld, and I see like a whole mountain range cut and paste in the background, like we were talking. Professional comic. Come on. You're killing me, guys. Freaking cut and paste mountain range.
Dude, in my book, one of the opening scenes, I have to draw a Japanese fishing village from like 1,000 years ago. So thatched roofs and tightly composed hut structure and all that. That's gonna be fun.
My friend Lucifer Storm's working on a book called Lady Satan, and he's just completed. I think it might be a double page spread, looking up the Eiffel Tower.
Oh shit!
And it's
all those angles, all those crossbars. Holy shit!
And his style's so clean. Like he has to draw everything, and it looks great. Looks really.
Oh my god! So how thick are the foreground lines? In order to get that to vanish properly, your foreground lines have to be fucking fat.
Put it this way, it works. It looks great.
See, I like the fact that that's what he was doing. He was doing a wink to the first concept art I did of the character in 2010.
Yeah, instead of being on
that's cool. That's cool.
he flipped his feet out and dangled his toes and shit.
Because I showed him all the art that I did for him, and he really liked that one. And I like the fact that he kind of did a wink to it.
Yeah, I like that idea where he's got these not sentient robot arms, but they're kind of doing their own thing while he's doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's cool.
But I see him as he's the mechanic, the top mechanic, and I'm like, how can I make him like a geeky mechanic? So I'm like, he's gonna have that back there, and see those knee pads.
Mm-hmm.
He does something else with that stuff. Just wait.
Oh, okay.
That sounded rude.
Yeah, you can't say he does something else with those knee pads.
Okay, I'll just say they're stabilizers. Wink, wink.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
He's a mechanic, so he works on big ships, so he also hovers. He can technically fly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like to work on big ships too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big ships with fupas.
So yeah, go back Tales of the Netverse.
Calling.
Go back Tales of the Netverse. What 101 right now?
101% funded.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Now we're reaching for those stretch goals.
I don't have any art to show because I'm in the throes of coloring a bunch of things, but I decided to surround myself with some finished panels. That way they're kind of out there in my background.
Xenotype.
Yeah, a little book called Xenotype. You may have heard of it. Written by Liam Gray, drawn by Odysseus, colored by me. We're charging towards completion. Contrary to what others might say. we're going to be completing that in the next month or so, something like that.
There's just some assholes that don't know how to leave people alone.
Yeah. I don't know. Elements.
I'm not looking
It's
for
just
an answer.
Generalization.
Elements. Yeah. Elements. But it's all good. It's all good. Feel free to have it all you want.
On the web?
Yeah.
Get
All
out.
good, man. So yeah, I should be. I'm probably gonna eat some lunch here in a few minutes, and I'm gonna color some more. I might go live. I might not. I'm not sure. So you'll get a notification if I do. You know, sometimes I do like to color offline, even though I love coloring live. Sometimes I just, want to just fucking power through some things. But
Yep.
It all depends.
Well, sometimes it's the best way of doing it. Just you don't feel like it, and then you power through it.
Yeah, I got to get a page done today myself. So
yeah, I put up some thought lights too. Yeah, you want to see something? Look at this. Check this shit out. Yeah, turn off my green screen here. All right.
Yeah,
whoa, is that a big old? What's that? Oh, that's part of your mic. That's part of your mic.
It's how my mic hovers.
Are we going to see your anti-decor?
It's this.
Oh no, we're not seeing it. We're seeing green.
I know. I'm gonna.
Oh, the light.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Some thought lights up there. So when I turn off my turn off my overhead lights and my spotlights, you'll just see that. Oh, you know what? I'll do it. Hold on a second.
Do it.
Hold on.
Just for one.
All right.
Roll up the drums.
Oh, there you go.
Now it works.
Now you got that bisexual lighting going on.
So that's gonna be like late night with the Scots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Here's how we color, fam.
There you go. Rich Cook says the most valuable info in CG. Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's high praise, Rich.
Yeah.
Thank
Do
you.
the hand wave.
Appreciate you. Hand wave. What do you mean? What's
When
that
you
mean?
put your two hands together and do a wave, kind of looks like a.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
With my drawing going on.
I just wanted to slap you right now.
All good.
Don't
Okay,
do
I'll
it.
take it.
Take it like a man.
When you
All
installing
right.
the stripper pole. What do you mean? You think I don't have one?
You mean installing?
Yeah. So, and update, I got a fucking weight bench. I got some
Is that a
fucking
paperweight
node
bench?
code. No.
It's got a sippy cup.
Papa gonna get swole again. I'm gonna get rid of this dough. I'm gonna turn it back into fucking sculpted marble or
Yeah,
whatever.
I've been meaning to do the same to get back in shape.
Yeah.
I mean,
He already
to be
did it
fair,
off camera.
Fuck that.
That's right.
I don't care. I've given past caring.
See, the thing is, I'm starting to feel my age now. You know what I mean?
Mate, don't even start. I'm officially an old man. I had my first old man fall down yesterday.
Did you trip over your balls?
No, I took not quite.
Oi, me sack!
They were ringing for about an hour afterwards though. No, I was just walking down a gravel path. My ankle rolled and I fell flat on my ass.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, did you fuck up your ankle? You okay?
Oh, I can't fuck up my ankles, mate. For what? Almost 20 years of skateboarding. My ankles bend left, right, center. Like,
Same
they
here.
don't, like, yeah, my ankles are fine. There's not an issue there at all. It was just
There
the
needs to
rock.
be tendons to pull in order for them to get pulled.
Oh,
Mine
they're still
are-
there. No, they're still there. They still hold everything together. They're just they're past the point of elasticity.
Right.
It was more the rock.
They're sinew now.
It was more the rock
Yeah.
that tried to insert itself up my anus that was the problem at the time.
Okay, let's tell us more about that.
It missed.
Oh,
But it tried.
okay. All right. It ended up in my pocket. I brought it home for later.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Okay. I'm gonna line my driveway with
yeah.
rocks that have tried to
As soon
come
as,
up.
as soon as I got home, I told Mrs. F set up the ambient lighting.
I'm in the mood, sweetie.
Listen, my dear. I need things in my ass. What? What are you talking about? This rock.
I met some aliens, yeah, and I discovered I like something I was not aware.
Mm.
Oh, mate, don't. We've got. Oh, there's a guy.
Really?
Fucking hell.
What?
There's a guy. I keep meeting him, and he does my editing sometimes. But he's written books upon books upon books of aliens, because apparently where I live is quite common to be seen UFOs in the sky. I indeed have seen some very weird shit in the sky that has baffled me. But I also live very close to. In fact, I don't live very close. I live underneath an RAF flight zone.
Oh. Okay.
So it's but this guy, this alien dude, like he's mental, fucking properly nuts.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
I mean-
seen some weird stuff myself, but usually I try to keep my eyes closed. Why I'm in the middle of it. So, but some of the women I've been with,
You know, what you got to do is you want to try to combine things together. So if you get like
pastries with you, right?
don't look up, don't look up.
your-
Whatever you do,
if you put your like a silver platter under the fupa and hit it from the back, you'll polish the platter. You know what I mean? Try to combine things. You know what I mean?
wax it from the back.
Yeah.
The only
Try to
problem you've
combine-
got there. The only problem you've got there, Scott, is some of these people might consider the platters should be full of food.
Or okay, maybe you've got some sanding to do on a tabletop you're making, right? Put it under there, like put some sandpaper on the fupa and just hit it from the back. And
Yeah,
you'll-
kinetic motion. It's energy transfers. So.
right. Don't waste any energy. Don't waste it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it going. All right, I think that's a good place to close it out.
Yeah, before it gets
alright.
too weird.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah,
edit
before it
that.
gets too weird. I mean, we're in that
We're still live.
a little
Yes.
weird. Yeah, this is still going on.
don't know what happened.
That was like an after show type of like talk. What the?
Yeah. That's what I'm all about.
We hope you find this useful for your future coloring endeavors.
Right. Right. Use this as tackling fuel. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to end it on that, everyone. Any other final thoughts anybody want to say?
Not that I should say out loud.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. We'll see you guys next Sunday. We'll have another episode with some more coloring information. So show up and we'll see you then. See you next week.